Dr. Paul here. Today we're going to talk about rhabdomyolysis. This is a potentially fatal, it certainly can be very dangerous condition that in this situation my son was hospitalized for almost a week, and in his case it was triggered by very intense exercise. So we're going to let you kind of go on this journey with us from the moment we started to be concerned right through hospitalization till the day he got home, just to educate and inform you about this rather rare but potentially very serious condition. When my son called me the morning he was getting really nervous about what was going on, he shared with me how he had really done this new butterfly pull-up move, and he went at it with gusto, and you're going to see that here. And then he started realizing he couldn't even straighten his arms and was having intense pain. Started researching it and realizing he might have a fatal condition. He called me up extremely worried. I thought, all right, I got to go talk to this guy. So I went to his house. So you're going to see here our little interaction prior to his awareness that he needed to be in the hospital. I like the shave, Nono. You look great. How come you seem bummed? You got this kind of attitude.
Well, I did a CrossFit move on Tuesday, known as a butterfly pull-up. And it's a skill in CrossFit that forces you to stay very much locked into your pull-up in fast repetitive motion up and down. So there's no swing, there's no release of tension. I did 60 reps. That was the first time I've ever done it.
First time and you did 60?
Uh-huh. And then I couldn't move my arms very well, but I warmed up and worked out again the next day. And now I can't really move my arms at all. And they're in extreme pain.
Here, grab that banana.
And Dad is making a joke of this, and it's gonna be super
killing you.
It's gonna be super depressing if I die.
Oh, you're not gonna. Oh my gosh! Look how he tossed that banana. That was rough.
And if I tried to pick up anything of consequence, it could put me in tears.
So these biceps, which are normally pretty big. Look, I've got my outstretched hand there is 7 inches, so you can kind of get an idea there. He's got a 5-inch just right across there bicep, but it's fairly tender, right?
It's definitely more tender than normal.
Yeah, a little more than normal. But you can see here it's soft, right? See how I'm pushing in? I mean, that hurts a little bit, right? He's going to live. There it did. Okay, sorry about that. I wasn't trying to cause pain on purpose.
I wasn't trying to film, by the way, because I am a dark person, and as I've said,
you thought you were going to die.
If something bad happens to me, it'll be really weird to watch this back.
You're not going to die, son. I happen to be a doctor, trust me. But anyway, rhabdo is serious stuff, right?
Mm-hmm,
and you're a personal trainer, so you know about that. You're a CrossFit coach.
And I still did it to myself.
And
possibly. Both sides right there, and then right there is where it just starts to sting. Ooh, so I just been walking around just like a Neanderthal. I mean, it's funny as long as
you end up surviving.
As long as nothing hokey happens with my
you'll survive.
kidneys.
As you can see, Noah was suffering from severe limitation in the movement. Immediately after that, he went to the outpatient lab to get some labs drawn. His CK, creatinine kinase, which is the measurement of the breakdown products from muscle damage, was over 20,000. It was as high as that lab could measure. His doctor immediately said, you have to be hospitalized, and he was admitted for massive IV fluids to do what you can to just keep the kidney going, flushing as much of these toxins as possible. We would later find out, actually several days later, that the labs he had taken the night before, he had a CK level of just under 9,000. So it had risen in a day from less than 9,000 to over 20,000. It's a progression of destruction of these muscles and the enzymes, and it can be ongoing. What the body does is it starts to send fluid and inflammation to the area trying to heal, and in the process some cells can get so large that they actually break down and release more of the toxins, whether it's creatinine kinase, the CK, or the myoglobin. Still increasing CK levels, potential ongoing damage at day 2, 3, and then possibly even day 4. And some of the literature shares this, that's why we have to be so careful. So this is an ongoing situation of really unknown severity, but it looked really severe. We're going to jump ahead now to Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
You just want me to do an update?
Update.
What's going on, guys? My name is Noah, coming to you from a room in a hospital, St. Vincent. I was admitted yesterday for rhabdomyolysis, Rhabdomyolysis. I didn't want to record a video over the last couple of days because, quite frankly, I've been pretty worried for my safety and my health. And I did this when I learned how to do a butterfly pull-up, which is a CrossFit skill. And I did that on Tuesday, and there's some footage of that right now. So as you guys can see, it's a dynamic movement. The movement is very hard because you have to maintain control of your muscles the entire time. And I didn't listen to my body, and I tempted fate, and I tried about 60 of them with 60 wall balls. And I got a bit nervous because a friend of mine had rhabdo years back. So the next day I woke up, and it was terrible. And that was Thursday. And the stat result came back over 20,000, which is definitely associated with major risk and potential, quite frankly, potential kidney death and renal failure if not treated properly. I'd already been pushing fluids thanks to a bit of information I had about it. My dad came over and set me up with a lot of electrolytes, and we started flushing out my kidneys immediately. My urine never turned dark. I was able to maintain relatively clear urine, which is a good sign. I had no confusion. I had none of the other clear-cut symptoms. My arms were swelling a bit, but it was pretty minor. And then they admitted me to the hospital. My hands were shaking, I was tearful, and I didn't want to record because in my mind, just because I catastrophized and whatever, I thought there was a chance I wasn't going to be alive. And a little teeny cynical part of me still worries, but I'm pretty confident now that I'm going to be okay. Fast forward you 24 hours. Yesterday was a really hard day. We're Saturday morning right now. It is Friday was a rough day. My wife stayed with me. My mom stayed with me for a long time, and they started pushing fluids, which if you want to get a close-up, Dad, walk over there. So what you're seeing right now is a sodium bicarbonate on your left that has some dextrose, and then you're seeing a plasma, I believe a plasma. It's just something that has electrolytes, but they've been pumping me with normal saline, and now it's got some electrolytes to balance that as well. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to flush out the CK from my kidneys, and they seem to be doing a pretty good job.
Peanut gallery.
They pushed 1,250 mLs of fluid for like the first 8 hours, 10 hours I was here. I was urinating at least 400 or 500 mLs per hour all night long. I've had 7 blood draws since I've been here. Vitals checked consistently the entire time. The thing's been beeping all night. It was a very long night, very long evening, loads of stress. Ultimately, it was the fear of the unknown. And I kept running around in my head thinking how sad it would be if this ends up being the death of me, and how stupid I felt, and how I wished I'd take better care of myself. And then they did a blood draw when I first arrived showing my kidney function was fantastic. My creatinine level was like 1.1, which is, for lack of better words, a very good level, indicating my kidneys were functioning properly. That was my only solace going into the evening. At midnight, or about 12:30, they did another blood draw, also showing that my kidney function was still fantastic. Each time I found that out, it gave me great relief, because this morning at about 8, they did another blood draw revealing that my CK level is still above 20,000. Of course, that is a dangerous level. The important thing is a doctor came in here, an internal medicine guy, and he explained to me something that was very comforting, and perhaps it would comfort you if you're in this situation. That it is unlikely if someone comes in with normal kidney function, gets extensive treatment like the one I've gotten, and then gets another blood draw showing that things are still going well. It's very unlikely, God willing, knock on wood, that my kidneys will suddenly give out on me. So now it's about being patient, continuing the process, and trying not to scare myself, which is important. So they've lowered me from 1,250 mLs of fluid via double IV, which you can see right here if you want to get a close-up. They've lowered me from 1,250 mLs to 450 mLs per hour from these 2 bags. I will tell you one thing though, is collected as I seem right now, I was in tears all night last night. I was asking every single nurse if they thought I was going to be okay, every doctor. I kept asking my wife to tell me if I would be okay, because I reside to being like a scared child if I think I'm at risk, and it reminded me of when I was depressed and I was in the hospital, this very hospital. Reminded me of that helplessness. So it's humbling, and it's got me wanting to reassess some things big time, because the idea of not being around is scary, which means I want to live, which means I should probably do my best to live well. So that's my update. I'm safe for right now. I hope to remain that way, and until they get my CK levels down to about 8,000, here is where I will stay. Hopefully I'll get some better sleep. Last night was very, very difficult, based on all the interruptions and the constant urination, which was literally every 30 minutes or so, and I'm hooked up, so it's just tough to move. And my arms have been in extreme pain. They're doing a little bit better, but I can't extend them. There's some swelling going on right here, but what they were telling me is that since it's still relatively tender, there's nothing to be afraid of in terms of compartmental syndrome. So that's the update right now. Treasure your temple. It's a cliche, and as far as CrossFit cliches, rhabdo is a real thing. And I, as a CrossFit coach, and people that engage in that sort of intense exercise need to be mindful of what to look out for and take it serious, because it certainly can be avoided, but it's real, and that's okay. Adios.
Fast forward Saturday and Sunday, another 48 hours in the hospital. He's on massive IV fluids. His CK level remained above 20,000. His doctors are saying, well, when we get it below 8 or 10 or 12,000, we might let you go home. And we're still in this unknown zone of greater than 20,000. Fortunately, in his case, his renal function, so kidney function, which is they check a BUN and a creatinine, remained perfect all along. And they were checking all his electrolytes: calcium, magnesium, potassium, chloride, phosphorus, albumin, a lot of things. They were pumping in. His first day, they had his IV running at over 1 liter an hour. An insane amount of fluids. But he remained at high levels, keeping his urine output at over 250 milliliters an hour. That's a lot, folks. You're getting up to pee every hour at least. So that was the work involved, along with just trying to keep his mental state stable, because although we had lots of visitors, I was there, a lot of other family and friends were visiting, in his own head, he was in this unknown zone of, am I going to be okay? Let's fast forward to Monday. So initial injury Tuesday and Wednesday, it's almost a week later. 6 days later, he got his first little bit of encouraging news.
Monday morning, this morning, the update being that my CK level finally dropped to 19,600. So we are officially on the bubble of what they can actually quantify, which brought me so much relief and so much hope. They dropped me down to a single IV now. The point is, it seems like I'm going to be okay. I'm getting mobility back in my arms. Showering has been difficult. Using the bathroom has been difficult. The whole thing has been really difficult and humbling. And I just wanted to update you guys and let you know what's been going on with me.
So upon knowing that the level of his CK had finally gotten below 20,000, I can really say that Noah's mood improved greatly. At least he had a sense of possibility that he was going to be okay. Now let's fast forward to a very exciting Wednesday morning.
Morning, guys. It is day 6 here at Providence St. Vincent Hospital, being treated for rhabdomyolysis. I've got my best friend. This is Leidy. Leidy, we're gonna call it. Leidy's been my best friend for these past 6 days. I have let Leidy deep inside me 24/7. That's how committed I am to our new relationship of hydration and purging bad stuff. This is what Leidy gives me. Just copious amounts of Leidy juice. And Leidy has helped me flush out the toxins. Oh, I'm delirious, if you can't tell. Hey, I'm able to hold this phone up and it only hurts a little bit with my right arm, so that's huge. My bicep's a little burny right now, but not too bad. Excuse me, Leidy. Leidy, it's not about you. We're gonna find out from the doctor if my CK level is at least close enough to 5,000 to let me off IV fluids, let me go home. And today might be the day. It has been a long, humbling journey, and I'm excited to learn from it and move on. And I'm so tired, which is okay. I just haven't slept much in the last week or so. So hope for good news. Say bye, Leidy.
Bye, Roberta. Thank you for letting me enter Nana. Thank you for letting me fill him up with the juices that will save his life.
So sweet. You guys, it hasn't been but 10 minutes since I woke up and made that recording. I went to get a coffee. We did it. 5,000 CK as of 5:30 a.m. blood draw. Discharge process has started. Me and Leidy are going to have a really intense breakup. I think I did the right thing. I think Leidy's going to be fine. I think he's going to find it, or whatever, she, doesn't have to be labeled, is going to find another partner who's going to receive Leidy just like I did in a time of need. it was just one of those things. Just universes collided, stars aligned, and just kidding. You were solid. Very fashionable. Nice. Look at that thing. Can we get a close-up of it? That's been inside me for 6 days. I was wondering how long that was. Like, this whole time I've been wondering how long that was.
I'm cold this morning.
Sounds good to
My nose
me.
is running.
Smells like freedom, derail. All right, guys, I'm home. This is home. Oh, that was scary. I wasn't too scared the last couple nights, but that was scary. Hi, girls.
So in summary, rhabdomyolysis is a real thing. And it's something that those of you who do high-intensity activities, CrossFit, I mean, this is known to happen for distance runners, soccer players, spinners who are doing intense cycling, pretty much almost anything that you do at very high intensity where you're really pushing your muscles and pushing them to the limit. The important thing is, obviously, hydrate well. This really helps reduce injury and flush any smaller amounts that might be occurring. But also, if you're experiencing that extreme pain and that limitation in movement, or you're seeing swelling, don't keep exercising. It's time to really rest and really aggressively hydrate. And then if you're still unsure, get checked, right? This is important. This can be a very serious condition. One of the things in researching all of this is I found that the death rate that's published in the literature, it seems to be less the elite athletes and more folks who are having rhabdo for other reasons. It's medication induced. Perhaps they were IV drug use and had severe infection from abscesses. So there are a lot of different causes of rhabdo. And I don't want everybody to think that, oh, if I push my exercise too hard, I'm going to die. That would be an extremely, extremely rare event. And there are these things you can do. Pay attention to your body. If you're new to an activity, you're using new muscle groups and really pushing them, be extra cautious. And, of course, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate with electrolytes. And, yeah, when in doubt, get checked. I'm Dr. Paul. Thanks for watching. Hey! There he is. That's my boy.
Wanted to share this story as a cautionary tale and a chance to educate others.
Kids never stop teaching you new things.
Exactly. Thanks, guys.
Peace.